Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hanlon, aka the Laptop Legend, and in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the exact setup that I use for Fidelity's Active Trader Pro platform. Now, if you guys just switched brokers or you're new to trading in general, you probably don't have a good understanding of everything that you need from a brokerage platform, everything that you need in your trading setup because you just, you don't know what to look for. And because of that, I think this video should be really helpful to a lot of people because I've been using Fidelity's Active Trader Pro for years and years and years now. So I think I have a pretty good understanding of the types of things that you need to have on there and what their features are and how they can benefit you if you're trading. So because of that, I think you guys should keep watching to the end. There's a lot of good stuff on here that you don't want to miss. Remember to like this video, please. Smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. You know how this works. You've been watching videos, I'm assuming, for a while now. If you have not already, subscribe and turn on post notifications because these videos come out and I don't delete them. So I guess there's not really any need for you to have post notifications. But I think it's cool. If you're one of the first people, I try to reply to all comments. So yeah, with that being said, let's get right into it. All right, guys, here we are at my computer. This is my setup for Fidelity Active Trader Pro. And if you're a little bit overwhelmed by what you see, that's totally okay. There's a lot going on here. We got a lot of different things that are very important to trading setup here. So I'm going to walk you through every single one of them, how you can set it up, all the different adjustments you can make. And yeah, these are important things for trading. So basically what happens is they have some default layouts, but you can create a new layout and save it. And that's what I do here. I call it setup. I have it be the default so that whenever I open Fidelity Active Trader Pro, it automatically pulls it up like this. The other ones are a lot less helpful. They don't have everything you need, and it's just all in all kind of a headache if you have to set it up every time. So you want to take the time, even if it takes 15 minutes to get everything perfect, because having everything exactly how you want it is going to save you a lot of money in the long run because it's going to make those small differences in seconds executing and stuff like that and not missing plays. So definitely want to get it set up right. So this is where the layouts are. You can create a new layout and save it, and that's what I recommend doing. So first, starting off, I have the charts here, and to do that, you go to charts and you make a new chart. And there's a concept that I want to talk about very quickly. So it's called linking, and you can see here it's linked to gray tools, and this is basically the ability to link separate things, separate windows within your overall Active Trader Pro setup. And you can see this is linked with the gray link, this is linked with the gray link, and this is linked with the gray link. And what that means is if I ever type in the ticker on any one of these, it's going to change it for all of these, which is very, very important because you never want to be in the position where you're looking at the chart for one stock and you have the, buying, order placing section pulled up for a different stock. You see the chart on the other stock and you're like, oh, this is great, I gotta buy it. And then you end up buying the wrong stock. That is a horrible thing to do. I have never done that, definitely not. But you wanna make sure you guys have it linked because this is gonna prevent that. So you can see here, if I go and I click on, let's see what this stock is doing. You see it changes it here, it changes it here, and it changes it here. So it's very important that you guys set it up like this. I can also type in the ticker if I want to type in TSNP, just see what that is up to today. You can see it switches it here, and switches it here. So very important to have these linked, guys. What I like to do is I like to make a whole bunch of different tabs, and you can see here I have the 1 minute candle. Let's go back to Ruby just because there's a little more action going on. You can see here I have the 1 minute chart, I have the 3 minute chart, I have the 5 minute chart, I have the 15 minute chart, and then I have 5 days on a 15-minute interval. I have 1 month on a 1 day interval, 3 months on a daily interval, 1 year on a daily interval, and then I have the max just to make sure that I can see the entire chart, and that's on a monthly interval. So if you guys want to set it up like this, what I recommend doing, you can make a new tab to start off if you don't have a good tab. And you can see this is a little different than what I have. So to get it the way that I have it, you're gonna have to adjust the settings. So what I like to do is I like to have filled candlesticks, and that's just a personal preference. You guys can have whatever you want, but I personally prefer the look of filled candlesticks, and you can actually change the colors. So if you want to have it be blue for when the stock goes up, that's great. If you want to have it be red for when the stock goes up and green for when it goes down, I don't know why you would want that, but you can do that here, which is kind of cool. Adjust the colors if you want to make it, I don't know, look weird. You can have it be white, or I don't know why you would want to change that, but I'm sure some of you guys might want to do that. You can adjust, obviously, all these other settings, grid mark, the grid lines, the watermark of the ticker for the company. You can have this be logarithmic. I don't know why you would do that. You normally want to show extended hours because it's helpful to have that information. So I have that on there. Show previous close. You can have that stuff on there. So once you have that, I'm just going to delete this. Then all you want to do to get all these set up, say I have the 1 minute set up just the way I like it, you can copy the current tab, and now you're going to have a duplicate of this. And then I can double click and rename this. Let's say I want to have, I don't know, say I want to have a 2-day. Call it a 2-day chart. You can type in that name there. I can go here and have it be, let's do 5 minutes, and let's do 2 days. So that could be my 2-day chart. So I can put that over here and drag it. And now you see it copied all the settings. It still has the after hours and stuff like that. So yeah, extended hours is definitely important. And yeah, this is just how I like to have it set up. And it makes it very easy because you can easily switch back and forth between the time frames because sometimes different patterns are hard to see developing if you have it, only looking at the 1 minute candles or only at the 5 minute candles, etc. So I like to have a lot of different stuff in between just so I can see what all the different traders are seeing and make sure I'm not missing anything. So that's what I like to do here. There's also a lot of really cool indicators that you can have. This right here is the slow stochastics, and there's a ton of stuff that you can add. I don't recommend having this for you guys. This is more, I think, when charts are kind of in a channel. You can also get RSI, that's another good one. There's just a ton. There's the Bollinger Bands, and it can throw them on the chart here, just to see what it looks like. I personally don't really need any of these things. The main thing that I am frustrated that Fidelity does not have is the VWAP, and they have it down here. You can see I added it here, but they don't actually have it on the chart, and it would be helpful to have it as a line because a lot of traders use VWAP, which is volume weighted average price, but in this case they don't have it. The closest thing that they do have, also, if you want to delete an indicator real quick, you just click on it right there and hit delete. If it lets me click, there we go. Yeah, so I can get the, I believe they have the volume moving average, volume weighted moving average, which is slightly different. Volume adjusted moving average. So you can see there, it's similar at this point. What is it? 988. Is that what it is? Yeah, it's 988. So I mean, this is a helpful thing. You can get the you can get a lot of different stuff. Stochastics, like I said. You can get where is it? We got the Kelter bands, the linear regressions, MACD, all that stuff. Directional movement. I like what is it? The pivot points. Sometimes that can be helpful if you're on a 1 minute chart just to see where stuff is turning. So there's a lot of different indicators that you can add below. And you guys can play around with this. Again, I personally don't use many of these. I might look into some of them because it can be helpful to have these lines, to know potentially where a stock could bounce off of or could see resistance if it's going up. But in general, I don't like that. I just like to have the different time frames because I prefer to just read the volume and just the price action of the chart. Also, if you have, I guess, bigger stocks, you can actually add the technical indicators. If you go to technical analysis, patterns and events, and you select all these, it wouldn't work on a stock like this. And I think it has to be kind of like a longer time frame. So if you're like on a year-long chart or something like that, more for a swing trade, that could definitely be helpful there. It can automatically detect those patterns on a specific chart to confirm if you guys see a pattern, but you're not positive. That could be a great way to do it. So now moving on, the next important thing that you guys want to add is called the directed trade window, and that is right here. And that's what this is. And directed trade gives you access to a lot of different things. It gives you access to the level 2 quotes. If it's not an OTC stock, to my knowledge, it gives access to the time and sales, which is this right here, which is very helpful. Gives access to this, the volume for the day, and then the ability to place these orders. And this is obviously your money maker. This is where you're going to be placing all those orders. Some shortcuts you guys might not know about. If you have the level 2, you can click on here, and it will automatically basically fill out what it's going to be to take out whatever that is on the level 2. So in this case, that was a 250 buyer at 975. So I click on that, and I'm trying to sell 250 at 975. So I could do the same thing here, sell, whatever, 2700 at 980. And here's another thing, actually. If you go under settings here, there's a lot of different things you can change. You can change what the colors look like. I prefer industry. You can change all that stuff, obviously, but this is what I wanted to talk about. So remember when I talked about the hidden sellers on TSNP that prevented the stock from going above a certain price? Well, you actually have the option here to do orders that are similar to that. So reserve orders, it's where you're placing a large order and only displaying a portion of your order in the marketplace at one time, or you can even do non-display orders. So if you select all of these, it's going to give you the ability to display none. So I could say display none of this, and this order would be invisible. So if I was selling, 10 million shares, they wouldn't be able to see that, and they would be wondering why it can't go above this price of 980. So that's just another thing to consider. If you guys don't know the difference between all of these things, there we have the reserve order. So there's a reserve order. But if you guys don't know what all these are, a limit is what you want to use most of the time if you're buying, just to make sure that you get the best price possible. Because if you buy with a market order, sometimes the market makers will just swing the price wildly to give you a horrible entry and then just move it right back to what it was. I've had that happen so many times, so you definitely want to avoid that if possible. Let me go here just to reset that really quickly. So yeah, if I wanted to buy, I would say, use a limit order. So say I wanted to get in, it's trading at, 1009 right now. I don't want to get in at 1050, so I say I'll get in at, 10 max. That's what I'll get in at, and I can place that order. So that's pretty helpful. Just to demonstrate for you guys, I'm actually going to place this, I'm going to say buy one share at, call it $7, just so you guys can see what the orders look like. So if I go here, again, I can make this whatever I want. I could have it be market. I could have it be a stop limit. So if it goes below a certain price, then I'm willing to buy it. Or if it goes above a certain price, I'm willing to buy it. Trailing, all that stuff. Very helpful. Definitely recommend using those, looking into them if you're going to be away from your computer. If not, though, it's not super helpful just because you don't want to get taken out when you have a stop and then just have it go against you. So I like to have mental stop losses. But if we go in here, just so you guys can see, I'm trying to buy one share at $7. I hit place. Oh, shoot. All right, I guess I'm going to the other account. All right, so we go in here and try to buy one share at $7. If we go place here, now you can see what this is, and this is the orders tab, and this is also very important to have in here. So if I actually go, where is it, trade and orders, orders are right there. So that's another tab that you're going to want to put right here. And the reason for that is it allows you to easily cancel these orders if you need to. And that's something that if you don't have this here, you're going to have to pull it up, and just taking that time could make a big difference in your trade. So definitely recommend putting the orders tab here. I actually, as soon as you place the trade, I also recommend placing a new trade, and then you can sell what you have. So I go to sell, whatever. But in this case, it's very easy. So you just cancel order, right click and cancel order. And there you can see verified cancel. So it's done for the day, and that's what you want. It's super quick, super easy, and in and out. If you didn't get executed and it suddenly was, way below or suddenly way above, but you didn't want to chase, then you could cancel your order quickly. So definitely having your order there is something I recommend. So yeah, that's basically all this. I also recommend having the news just in case there is some news that comes out. This will alert you, and it's very helpful to have this down here. Again, it's linked, so if you're watching a stock, if you click on a different one, it's automatically going to pull up the news for that new stock, which is nice. Again, that's right here. You just make sure it's linked with the same color. Super helpful to have. This right here is the current positions. So if you want to do that, you can go here and have positions. And that's going to tell you, the gain and loss on your current positions. And you can manage the columns in there very easy by adjusting add and remove columns. There's a ton of different stuff you can have. I recommend having unadjusted purchase price because this is what's going to show you your average cost basis. And that is something that a lot of the other ones don't have, even though it has basis on there. So I definitely recommend using that for your cost basis, just because it's going to give you an average. Say I bought this stock here, I don't know, this is a bad example. Let me go to Ruby real quick. So say I bought this stock here, call it $9, and then I also bought it $9.50. You know, this would tell me my average here, my average cost basis on those, which is helpful to know, you know, just so you know whether or not you're breaking even on a trade if it drops and you need to cut or something like that. So make sure you're ending profitable. This is definitely what I recommend having. So if you're in the middle of a trade, this is going to be very important to have. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Let's see here. Here I have the, what is this? This is the watch list, and I recommend making a watch list just so you can track the stocks. I recommend putting VWAP on there because that is an important price figure that a lot of traders use. Again, you can adjust these columns very easily. Put whatever you want on there. You can see the ones that I have here. Volume's very important. VWAP and day range. That's pretty much all that I have on there. But if you go up here again, it's just you make a watch list, and there it is. Pretty simple. And this is helpful again because once you have the watch list, if there's a stock that is over here on the filters tab, to get that is I believe, yeah, right there. So you can add the filters tab right there. If there's a stock that you see popping off because it's top percent gainers across the market, that's what I like to save. If you see one popping off like, oh, what is Veru doing? Oh, wow, I like that. Then you can right click, add to your watch list, and bada boom, bada bing, it is right in there. I guess I already had this, but yeah, to delete, I mean, you can just click and delete. But this is just nice to have. You know, it's nice to be able to keep track of multiple stocks at one time. But I don't like having the messiness, I guess, of all the different charts. You know, people like to have 10 different charts up on their screen or have, you know, 30 different desktops. I don't have any of that. I just trade with one, and I feel like it's easier that way. I might get another desktop at some point, but it's really not necessary. In this way, I'm mobile. I can take this wherever I go, and it's nice. So yeah. The very last thing that I have in my Fidelity Active Trader Pro setup is this, and this is the positions. Here you can see some of the stuff that I've closed this year, you know, up 7,000, whatever. So if we go to today, we can see I haven't made any trades today, but this is helpful just to have your closed positions on the account to make sure that you know what you are doing for the day if you're closed out. And so I don't recommend having this live. You don't need to know this. This is more something that just you look at once you're done trading, or just, you know, once you're closed out of your trades, to see what you've done on the day. So it's more important when you're in the middle of a trade to see what your current positions have done and are doing. And it's also more important to see what your current orders are. Definitely want to make sure that you have access to that. But this is just something that I like having so that I can know what I've made and closed out at the end of the day. So that's nice to have there. One more thing on this, you want to have it with this little arrow pointing down, because that will make it so that the newest orders are automatically put to the top. If you have it some other way, I think it defaults to, I don't even know what it defaults to, but it defaults to not that, and that will make it so they just randomly appear. And once you, I don't know, get more than a couple orders on here, you're not gonna be able to see the new ones that come in. So definitely make sure you have this set up so that the order time is what it sorts by. And I think that is pretty much it, guys. Again, you know, all these indicators, I guess if you want to draw stuff, this is what I do sometimes. So if you want to draw a support line, say, you know, right here, you can see this pivot point. I could say once it breaks down below where it turned the last time, I'm going to short it right there. So you could short, you know, right there. Or if you want to draw more extended ones, or like a channel, you could, you know, do it from here. Draw a little mini channel, etc. So this stuff is just helpful, and it stays on whatever tab you have it on, for whatever ticker you have it on, which is kind of nice. So like if I go, I'm here on the 5-minute chart. So if I go back to Ruby, this is ANPC. If I go back to Ruby, go to the 3-minute chart, then I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let me go back to ANPC. Let me go back to the 5-minute chart. All that stuff is still going to be there, which is kind of nice. Just gives you the ability to really make those decisions. And I guess if you're doing your analysis earlier in the day, it lets you come back to it later on and see how the chart is playing out based on the technical analysis that you were doing before, which is really nice. I really like that feature. I guess the last thing, you know, if you want to zoom in, pretty self-explanatory, but you know, you could zoom in here. see what it did just to make it a little bigger. But that's pretty much it here. You can also put in custom dates, stuff like that, change the frequency, custom intraday frequency, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much the setup that I use, guys. I trade mostly based off of technical analysis and just reading the momentum of these stocks. PLNHF looks like it's probably going to break under 550 today, which is crazy. I sold up near that top, man. I sold, 609 on this day that it went to 640 because it looked pretty overextended. It went straight from 4 after it broke out. I don't know if you guys remember that video, but just to give you an example of what I would use this drawing for, you see here, I put that at 4, man. My computer's not trying to do this. I put this at $4. Once it broke out, I made a YouTube video about it, and I mean, it went all the way to 640 without really coming back at all. So I think this could easily, go down to 5, and I plan on rebuying in there because I think this company has long-term potential, but it was kind of overextended, so I didn't want to hold through that drop that I was pretty sure was coming. So that's just an example of how I can do technical analysis. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video today. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did and you've made it this far, you're still watching, I'm talking to you. Please smash that like button. It really helps me out. Remember to subscribe, turn on post notifications if you haven't already. If you made it this far, you're probably a subscriber because no one else watches my video to the end. I think it's like 5% of people. So props to you. You're a real fan. I appreciate it. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, let's grow better together.